Today we're going to be rating AI-generated Magic the Gathering cards. Complete slop generated by our wonderful AI overlords. Let's see how smart they are today, or not. We're going to start off with the Far Enemies. It's a 6-mana, 5/5 artifact creature. Whenever this creature becomes untapped, you may tap this creature. Like, what is even the point of this thing? Why do we even get out of bed? Far Enemies asks. You know, I just get out of bed and all of a sudden I want to go back. But it is a may ability, all right? So you may use this card. You may tap this creature. You also could just untap it like usual. I don't know what would help you. Why would we want to have this thing tapped? I think there are some equipment, maybe with an untap ability. Maybe. I have to make you might be creating design for future equipment with an untap ability or an untap aura ability of some sort. Not even bad enough for the play to lose bingo. That is correct, because you're not really even playing to lose. Okay, there's also some cards you can block. You can block with tapped creatures. Sorry, not some cards. There is one card that I know of that's like that. And you would really catch your opponent by surprise. It's like, wait, at my untap, I'm gonna tap my Far Enemies. That's right. And then they think like the coast is clear. Then you flash in that creature. Then all of a sudden, Far Enemies, which is a 5/5 creature, is a lot closer than you think. Is that card a good card? No. By any metric, this card sucks. It's a 6-mana 5/5. You can get 5/5s for a lot cheaper these days. You could get 5/5s for a lot cheaper 10 years ago. Sagacious also says, also a reminder, all the text is made by a deliberately primitive neural net trained only on MTG text, no other materials. That is correct. It's a very deliberately primitive, and it can get even more primitive depending how primitive we need it to be. Von Ragnar says, can we copy this ability into those when untapped creatures from Theros? It could work that way. You mean the inspired cards? The problem is, like, you still need to untap it. Like, we are just deliberately tapping it the same way. You know, you could tap all your creatures. Just attack with them. It's simple as that. This one doesn't even get an attack in. It's just tapping it for the sake of tapping. Richard says, okay, if it was blue and white and came out with Dissension and cost less mana, is that how you're trying to make it work? Green gets so much better stuff for 6 mana. Oh yeah! For 6 mana, you can just win the game on the spot, I would say. Okay, Richard does have an idea. You get Infinity Palliation Accord combo, though. I'm not familiar with this combo. What else do we have? Anyway, the card, it's doable, okay? I mean, it's not breaking any rules. It's not breaking the laws or physics of Magic the Gathering. So, you know, it's definitely going to pass here. We got Race Car. Hello, never seen you live. First time from Australia. Thank you very much for showing up from Australia, Race Car. This becomes broken with some nonsense. Well, you have to invent the nonsense. Remember, you only even get one untap trigger. Not one untap trigger, one tap trigger. The trigger to tap this thing. There are people out there, they play well, I mean, there are people out there, they play cards like Springleaf Drum to tap their creatures if they really need to. Titanic Nightmare says, is there a bingo card spot for chat tries to make a bad card work? There is not, but we do have a bingo card today. Where's my bingo card? Here it is. Here's the bingo card today. If you can nail any of these, let me know in the comments section. Or sorry, let me know in chat. If you let me know in the comment section, it's a bit too late because you're probably watching on the replay. Take your screenshot of the bingo card, and away we go. Okay, Far Enemies, you are far and away not my enemy. Next up, we got Lord of the Dead. This is a 4-mana 3/2 human assassin. When Lord of the Dead enters, create a blood token. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 8 or greater, create a 5/5 black spider creature token with trample. This literally just looks like a regular Magic the Gathering card. Maybe some abilities that have nothing to do with each other. Also, I don't know how many spiders there are that are red. Well, I mean, okay, this is a black spider coming off of a red card, so it's not quite the same thing. This is the human assassin making the spiders. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 8 or greater, feels very much more like a black or green card. Yes, surprisingly normal card. Draft chaff, but it works. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say so. It looks very commander-like. I think there's a lot of commander players that would prefer to play this card. Not complete draft chaff. So when it enters the battlefield, you get a blood token, which can help you filter for cards that you need. But most importantly, if you're playing a deck with a bunch of big chunky creatures, as you cast those big chunky creatures, you get the spooters with them. In fact, you might even be playing a full spooter deck. I don't know why Lord... Hold on, isn't Lord of the Dead a real card name? I'm pretty sure. Bingo, missing types for the last card. That is correct. All right, the last card was missing many types. Okay, so we were missing... I can't remember which one it was. We are missing... like unspecified... Missing subtypes. Sagacia says, anyone understand the choice of public domain image for this card? I have no idea. It looks like some sort of basketball game. Somebody has a spider as a mascot, which is really creepy. I'd be very disappointed, if anything. The card looks like it'd be good in some Cascade build where you're chaining casts of creatures. Well, I mean, it would have to be, like, super expensive. I mean, okay, there are a few... super expensive Cascaders. You cast that card, you get your Cascade trigger, also get your 5/5 black spooter creature token trigger, and then hopefully you can fly into another 8 mana value card for free. We have Lord of the Undead. Now we have the we have the opposite now. We have completed the triangle. Well, even though there's only two. We've completed the second side of the coin. Lord of the Dead and Lord of the Undead are fine. Okay, no, Scryfall results for Lord of the Dead. Surprisingly, there is just a Lord of the Undead. The name looks like a card that should already exist. Wizards is saving that for some incredible mythic rare. It better make spooters, though. Lord of Live? The original one was the Lord of the Live. This one is the Lord of the Dead. Even though it makes live things. A lot of spiders. Tonight Nightmare. Then we have Lord of the Unreal, just kind of sitting off to the side, hoping to be invited to the dance. Okay, that's the triangle. We have Lord of the Unreal, Lord of the Undead, now Lord of the Dead. And maybe one day we'll have Lord of the Real at the same time. And they just put a different picture. It's great. It's a great picture. All right, very doable, very commander-like. Commander players rejoice over millions of spooters. Next, we got the Fairy Noggle. This is a 6-mana, 4/4 Snow Beast. It's a snow creature. When Fairy Noggle enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. That is a lot of mana for a singular token. Also for 0 mana, Fairy Noggle gets -1/-1 until end of turn. God, okay, it's not 100% useless. I've been in this situation a million times. I'll tell you where I would use this. When my opponent is playing Ensnaring Bridge. There is a lot of situations where my opponent has Ensnaring Bridge in play. They're at like 1 life. And I just need my creature. They've got like 2 cards in hand. I just need my creature to be a little bit smaller so I can get in the last few points of damage. But right now... yeah, I wish every creature had that ability, to be honest. That sounds like a very weird thing to say, because it's only pure upside. You don't have to use it, all right? You don't have to use it. And if you need to, you get a death trigger. You know what? I would also use this ability in response to Living End. So my opponent's going to vote to play Living End, which will wipe all the creatures off the battlefield and then bring all creature cards from graveyard to the battlefield. In response to the Living End, I can let this thing die. You know, we'll just go -1/-1 for infinity. And so this thing goes to the graveyard. Then the Living End resolves. I get my Noggle back. Bingo, play to lose. This is a play to win card. It's so many ways of winning with this. This would be busted in 1990. No, I don't think so. Not really. It still gets, like, completely outclassed. Maybe 1990. There was no Magic in 1990. I mean the 1990s. Juzam Dejin would have something to say about this. Although it does come with the 1/1 token. Although I get the 1/1 token back in response to Living End. Teutonic Nightmare says, Ensnaring Bridge has inflicted a certain amount of trauma, I see. Oh, absolutely. You know, for years, I had no way of beating that card. I have a lot of ways of beating the card now, but good God, Staring Bridge was just like this one card win condition, just like Magic used to be. We need more cards. This sounds strange, but we need to bring back hate cards that just shut down decks. We just don't have those anymore, and we need to bring them back. Certain decks in Magic, they're too free now. We need to bring back these super outrageously powerful hate cards like we used to have in the past. Welcome, Largo. These are my favorite streams. They are my favorite streams as well. Okay, Fake Cake. I like how this creature is neither fairy nor Noggle. Well, no, well, okay. Sometimes the art has to do with the effect. And remember, we are bringing the 1/1 white soldier creature token. And so I think this represents the 1/1 soldier. Noggle might be behind the trees somewhere there. You know, they're hiding. Taking a little hide. 6 mana for a 5/5 worth of stats that is divided to a token that has no upkeep trigger. It looks pretty decent to me. Okay, that's true. Like back then, there were... come on, there were like Shivan Dragon. Shivan Dragon's better than this. Sarah Angel. There were, like, you have to compare it to the good cards. There were good cards amongst all the bad cards, you know? Amongst the Force of Nature and the Wood Elemental. So yeah, this looks better than Wood Elemental. Force of Nature, but it doesn't look as good as Sarah Angel or Sarah Angel, Juzam Dejin. Even Air Elemental, I think, is better than this. Air Elemental was 5 mana for a 4/4 flyer. It's not a beast either. Who knows? Strong things come in small packages, but also blue creatures were horrendous too. Air Elemental people. They weren't that bad. Timmy. You want Mystic Mine? I don't know what that is. Surefire Self says, I think it's actually nice to be able to control this creature's power and toughness at instant speed to dodge certain removal. There we go. That care about power. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. That's exactly right. There's a lot of upside to this card. I think people are underestimating it. Fairy Noggle is... I'm not going to say it's a banger, but I mean, it's not unplayable. If I were drafting AI-generated cards... and they actually, I mean, I would draft this card. I have a feeling it's not the best card that we could possibly draft, though. Looks better than Wood Elemental? Yeah, anything looks better than Wood Elemental. So we can't be comparing things to Wood Elemental over here. What about Mystic Mind? I guess, okay, it was another card game. No wonder why I was a little bit confused. This actually goes infinite with Crackdown Construct? What on earth is that? Okay, hold on. Let's go look at Crackdown Construct. Oh, you mean... Oh, is there a Crackdown? Oh, this is Crackdown Construct. 4 mana 2/2. Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact or creature that isn't a mana ability, Crackdown Construct goes... Oh, gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That is broken. So we have actually discovered a combo card. Because what you can do is you can activate this ability infinite times. And I mean, Fairy Noggle will die. So long, Fairy Noggle. But we will make our Crackdown Construct have infinite power. And we could do that after blocks. So like if no one blocked the Crackdown Construct, then we activate the Fairy Noggle as many times as we need. Yeah, absolutely cracked down. So it turns out this card is maybe more busted than we think. Fantastic Fairy Noggle. Very, very, very stimulating card. Next up, we got the Auriok Visionary. This is a 5 mana 3/4 angel. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player adds 5 red to their mana pool. Whenever Auriok Visionary deals combat damage to a player, investigate. This is also another... At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player adds 5 red mana. But you have to use it at your draw step. Because remember, the draw step is still a step. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but... The draw step is a place where you can cast spells and activate abilities. Like your upkeep or your first main phase. Most people don't use it for that, but you can use it for that. So you're going to get this 5 red, and basically you have to use it. You use it or you lose it. Play some chunky instant speed card. maybe play your Urza's Rage with Kicker. Maybe it'll give you the extra mana to be able to do that. Or use activated abilities off of this mana. Maybe I'm about to say maybe you could use that mana for your Fairy Noggle, but Fairy Noggle costs 0 mana. It wasn't a whole lot of mana. Can you cast anything in draw step? Can you have upkeep in upkeep? So not sure if the mana is usable for anything. Yeah, so the thing is, if you have an upkeep cost, it's too late. Because once you get to, because the upkeep is the upkeep, but then the draw step is the draw step. It is past the upkeep. It's beyond the upkeep. It's too late. We got Nick Stark with the right idea. We're going to play 5 lightning bolts. Why not? I don't know why you have 5 lightning bolts. You have a really weird rule 0. Boros Burn foaming at the most for something like this. Well, maybe. I mean, it could work against you. Remember, it's the beginning of each player's draw step. It ain't going to be your draw step first. It doesn't have flash. So you're actually going to be giving the mana to everybody else at the table, especially your opponents, before you can actually make use of this yourself. Yeah, you can use it for instants, and you can use it for activated abilities. Oh, this is a great one. Tap Basalt Monolith. You can use the mana to untap some of the... I think you can use it for Grim Monolith. I can't remember. Some of those artifacts you can only pay for the cost to untap it during the upkeep, which is just weird. But yeah, there's like monolith type of cards that you can then use the mana to untap it and then you save the mana for later. Or maybe this will make storage counters good. Everyone remember storage counters? Yeah, storage counters. You gotta spend mana to store it somewhere, and then you gotta spend it somewhere else. It's a pretty cool politics card, I would say. And when it deals combat damage, oh, you investigate. This is actually the perfect card for a bunch of mana. So if you're in an investigate deck where you make a bunch of clues or food and you need to spend mana to crack those things, no better way to do it than at your draw step with the Auriok Visionary. Okay, we're going to take a look at more AI-generated Magic the Gathering cards, but we are going to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. Deal of the week this week, 50% off Old Ikoria Layer of Behemoth singles. Get your Triomes, get your Winota. Winota in danger, in my opinion. Get all your other cards, whether it be for Commander, Pioneer, Standard, Modern, or more at FusionGamingOnline.com. Just like me, I got a bunch of cards for Standard not long ago. I even went 40% in my Standard tournament, which was a victory in my opinion. Use coupon code Nikachu like I did to get 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel. Thank you very much. And who doesn't like to support the channel? If you don't, you're a traitor. An absolute traitor. There's been a bunch of cards that save unspent red mana recently. Oh yeah, like you save your mana. Mana does not disappear as steps and phases end. Oh, you know what you need? You need this card maybe also doubled up with what's it called? That commander, that legendary creature that says unspent mana burns you. That brings mana burn back. Then that could be a combo. So it'd be fun if Mana Burn was still around and opponents couldn't spend all that red mana. So that's the thing. We could actually bring that back because there is. I can't remember the commander. Urlock. That's what it is. Urlock. Urlock says if you don't spend your mana, you're screwed. You're gonna get burned by your mana. Filter that to green and sell it to Omnath in a vegan package. Spicy green mana. You could call it spicy green mana. Start off red, turn green. All right, next up, we got the Scream Swarm. It's a room land. Highly unusual. So this land enters tapped, and as it enters, choose a color. Oh, you know what I thought it was gonna do? I thought it was gonna open a door. That would have been interesting. So this land does nothing. It does tap for a red, though. So it's like, I guess, technically a mountain to some extent. So it enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color. Yeah, I choose fuchsia. What's everyone's favorite color out there? I would say these days, a very nice sort of, not too, like a blue, not too dark, not too light is my favorite color. It's got to be the right shade of blue. Nick Star chooses purple. Largo loves puce. That's a choice. Von Ragnar, slow mountain with pointless ETB. I'm sold. No, it's not even an ETB. It's an as it enters effect. So you choose it as it enters the battlefield. Cerulean. We also have Dick Diru with Blurple. Is that a real color? That sounds like a made up color. I gotta look this up. Blurple color. Okay, it's real. If anyone wants to look it up, it actually exists. Someone has taste. We got gold here. You also sound very expensive. Okay, my guy, it's not even a mountain. Doesn't count for any mountain or basic land type. That's right. So you can't even fetch this card out. Lunge, Ignorant Venom, Fought to Command. Despotate the potential Blanketic off the violence. This card has actually Stone Cold. Okay, it's not useless, so it's at least tapped for red. So we can't say it's the most useless thing. It's undraftable, though. Okay, oh no, hold on. There might be one point to this card. It's a room. There might be some cards that say if you have an X number of rooms on, or maybe it's different rooms you need to have on the battlefield, but it's like an easy room to get on the battlefield to enable room decks. I don't remember what the room synergies are because they're borderline worthless. They're pretty pathetic, but you know, if you really need to, you can. As with all the split cards, players can cast only one half from their hand. Pick one half to cast, and that door unlocks on the battlefield, giving you access to the half's ability. Well, that's how the room works. Room-related card count door instead of room, unfortunately. Oh, really? Okay, then it is useless. We're moving on to Vine Crystal. It's a 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this enchantment unless you pay 3. This is literally do nothing. I cannot find a single reason for this card to even exist. It's in Banch too. It's not even an easy card to pay. Decillion of Scraps is fending its Bulkuvi. Bingo. This card does nothing. It was made to die, essentially. This is actually, well, it does something, but it does negative nothing. I mean, the thing that it does is of absolutely no point. Okay, hold on. There is one thing it can do. It can feed your graveyard an enchantment that might be important for Delirium. It might. Oh, triggers Constellation for the enchantment decks. Sacrifice ETB. I don't know how. I know the ETB for enchantments are important. I don't know how important it is for the sacrifice. Starfield of Nyx maybe constantly reanimated itself. Well, this thing doesn't reanimate though. It sits there until you are done paying its stupid upkeep cost. Cairo says combos with Chromatic Orrery and the Angel from earlier to counter Urlock. Oh, you mean to spend the mana? So we have a mana sink for that Angel that adds 5 red. We just need to filter that mana, then spend that mana on Vine Crystal. Oh no! This is at the beginning of your upkeep. You have to spend this mana before you get to the draw step. So actually, that doesn't work. No, doesn't quite work. It's a flex card. Look, I can win while wasting 3 mana every turn. It's like a type of card you put in the deck just to handicap yourself against someone who's learning the game. As you get beat down by their 2 mana, their 2 mana 10/10s, you pay the upkeep to the stupid Vine Crystal. Yeah, timing is everything. Let's just say it's a card I'd cut first from the deck. Yes, I would also cut this card first. Okay, it's a legal card. It is completely worthless though. When you're looking really desperate to draw a card off of Argonian Enchantress. Okay, look. If a cube was made with Argonian Enchantress and just all these crappy enchantments, I mean, you might be forced to draft these, and you'd have absolutely no choice. Next up, we've got Terrors of the Ruiner. This is a land. Rule! That sounds like a mechanic that we just don't know anything about. Aaron in Min, Fanke, and Neely Nevs, Acopt, Sent Lings. Sounds Pig Latin. Yeah, rule. R-U-L-E. For the Roman Empire. what is going on here? It looks like we have a bit of a tiara in the middle of a barren desert. I guess, well, whatever they ruled, they lost. Finally, a real land. I don't even know if this is a real land. It's a land that doesn't even tap for mana, which is not too unmagic-like. Back in the day, there were a lot of lands that didn't tap for mana. And I think we should go back there. They gave those lands special abilities. We need to explore the Maze of Ith era of lands, where it's got this ability that's a bit too strong to just add, like, to combine it with mana. This one's a little too weak, I would say, because we don't even know what rule does. If it makes you, you know, it'd be interesting if this makes you the what's it called? The Monarch. Imagine it. Yeah. Whoa, Mappius is on the same wavelength as me. Would a land that makes you the Monarch on ETB be broken? If it didn't tap for mana, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. And what if every landfall makes you the Monarch? What if it's like rule is like Monarch but for a landfall, and every single person that puts a land on the battlefield because they're ruling the land? That's the only way I can see making it work. It could be absurdly broken, though. This is for the future Burger King Universes Beyond set. Terrors of the Ruiner. Quick Card says, at this point, I genuinely trust the AI to come up with cards more appropriate for a high fantasy setting than Wizards, and that makes me very sad. With sadder is you're actually putting a lot of confidence in this really crappy AI. Molly Swag, not a fan of Landfall. Landfall was already a mistake. We don't need Monarch in there as well. We need to take 2 mistakes. Hell, let's throw an initiative at the same time and just combine it all into one package. You Landfall, you take the initiative, or enter the dungeon or some crap like that. We'll create the most busted mechanic of all mechanics. Terrors of the Ruiner sideboard against Blood Moon. Probably Blood Moon actually beats this card. Yes, I trust the incredibly bad AI to stick to flavor better than Wizards. Well, I mean, the flavor, well, maybe flavor is okay. The color pie is completely off. We got Race Car. When it enters, you make up a rule for it. Well, then that's more of a silver border card. Take the Rules Lawyer. Pedgeman's here. Hey, I'll help you doing though. We have customs later today. We will, actually. We will. We'll have a nighttime customs for the very first time. We need a land that gives cities blessing. Oh no, that sounds perfectly flavorful. That might actually make sense. Bingo, new keyword. Oh, that's true. We have a new keyword called rule. What it means, we have no idea. Okay, this is real keyword. We need made up keyword. New keyword. Okay. New keyword. No reminder text. It's actually perfect. Yeah, we have a new keyword, but zero explanation for this. Okay, this card is dumb. I mean, technically, it's a legal card because it's a land that does nothing, but we don't have enough explanation. I don't know anything about Vanguard. Does anyone play Vanguard out there? We have Iron Coastline. When Iron Coastline enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. I didn't even know you can cast this card. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. Then you lose the game. Equipment, auras you control, encounters are modifications. Thanks for the reminder. I play Card Fight Vanguard. Okay, so for the Vanguard people, okay, we have one confirmation. That's not how Vanguard works. That's exactly what I was looking for. This is even a magic card. No, it is a magic card. So there are these Vanguard cards, and they look weird. Like, they do look like this. Yeah, Vanguard, who cares? I don't play Vanguard. Can't play bingo, play to lose. Okay, that is true. That's a very play to lose type of card. We don't play to win around here. Some people try to get out of the game as quickly as possible. You lose! Good day, sir. Play to lose, and this Vanguard has 0 health. Oh, is it supposed to be higher than 0? Does it just die on the spot here? In Vanguard, you get a piece in the command zone that changes how your deck works. The numbers at the bottom modify your starting life and starting hand. So we're dead instantly. Everyone, okay, I've come to play some Vanguard. All right, here is my Vanguard card. It's Iron Coastline, and I got 0 life. Thank you very much. See you guys later. No, 0 is valid. Those are starting / max hand sizes and starting life total. Yeah. So my starting life total is 0. I start the game as a loss. I don't know how many people can play in Vanguard at the same time, but you're just turning into, like, I'm guessing, like a 4-player game into a 3-player game. Oh, 0 life means you start 20 as no. Okay, I see. So it's a modification. So you can, like, start plus something or minus something. Gotcha. So I mean, so you still play as the regular. So all the rules are the same, and these are just modifying what you would normally have. Okay, that's good to know. So it's Turbo 1. It's Turbo 1 with no again. So I mean, unless I guess it says -7. So if it's -7, then you would start with nothing. Or you just, and there wouldn't even be cards in your graveyard. Just start with nothing. So you lose the game is part on the cast trigger, or so it will do nothing before it resolves. Okay, I don't even know how it works. Can you even get cast? As an additional cost to cast this spell, which I don't think you do. Sacrifice a creature. Isn't this like acting like a commander for the most part? Point is this. Point is this does nothing. Vanguards begin the game in effect, so it can never enter the battlefield. It can't be cast. And it doesn't modify hand size nor life total like some Vanguards do. Okay, so let's read this again. So it's basically, it's a commander. When Iron Coastline enters the battlefield, which you can because you can't cast it, you may exile a creature card from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. And as an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature, then you lose the game. Well, this thing's saying you can cast it, but I can't because it doesn't have a mana cost. So I guess it just sits there doing nothing. So it's like, okay, my Vanguard. Okay, so if I understand correctly, this Vanguard just doesn't change anything. It's like, okay, if someone wants to play Vanguard, I show up with the Iron Coastline. I'm just playing regular Magic the Gathering, and everyone else will have, like, something. Yeah, it's an eminence effect, basically. Okay, Iron Coastline. It is actually super legal. Completely pointless, though. When you pull it in a booster pack. Well, pull in a booster pack, it still does something. Oh my god, I am missing. Ah! We gotta go to Mana Traders. Let's go to Mana Traders. Because that is today, our other sponsor today, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Why would you want to rent cards? That sounds insane to some people. Well, first off, some people don't like buying their collection twice, both digitally, online, and in paper. That seems a bit weird. But you can have access to every single deck when you're renting the cards on Magic Online when you are renting with Mana Traders. And if you like to play a huge variety, I mean, it's unbelievably cheaper when you're paying the subscription price instead of owning the entire collection of Magic the Gathering cards in existence. You can support the channel using coupon code Nikachu_BH2 for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. And back to our rated AI generated nonsense. Momir craziness. Yeah, imagine getting this. Well, I don't think you would get this in Momir. Next up. It is the Eye Crows. It's a 4-mana 2/2 creature. That's good. It's like half fish, half dragon. It's like, you could call it a dragonfish. It's a perfect name. Okay, flying, and Boosh is blue. Might be referencing another creature. Lair. Lair? Tixie trades over Olos Prevailman. Unworthy! If you ask me, the flavor text is getting actually less intelligible as time goes on. Boosh is blue. I can't tell if it's actually trying to change the state of the board or if it's actually making a statement instead. Maybe it's even part of the flavor text. It's so bushy. Who is Boosh and why is he bluer than blue? Maybe okay, hold on. Okay, I have an alternative theory here. This card is like a Godzilla card. And this is Lacroze is from some alternate universe. And it is replacing the actual card, which is called Boosh. And then some cards are like, this card is blue. Well, Boosh is blue. It's just making a statement. Outside of that, it's just a 4-mana 2/2 flyer. The fish is farting fire? Yes. That answer is yes. It's actually it might even be attacking somebody in the background here. I see someone in the background fighting people with fiery farts. Wasn't there a show called The Mighty Boosh at some point? No, I never heard. Well, I never heard of it. I shouldn't say if it existed or not. This is a scaly manfish. I think it's pretty cool. It's a dragonfish. The fish is farting fire. Yeah, fish farting fire, LOL. Underwater. Or maybe it's flying. Because why is this person underwater? It's like Haku from Spirited Away. Can fly in the air. Okay, I got nothing. This is just it's doable cloud poo. 4-mana 2/2 flyer. This is draft chaff, if anything else. I would never draft a 4. Ooh, we've got the unnamed card. Very sus. An unnamed black card for 4 mana. It is a legendary land. It is also a lesson. We're cramming a lot of card types on here. Okay, +1. Legend name deals 2 damage to any target. Holy cow! It's like a planeswalker. No, hold on. This thing is already broken. This is a land. It's a land with a planeswalker ability attached to it. Remember, when it's a land, you do not cast it for its mana cost. It has a mana cost for whatever to affect cards with mana value on the battlefield, but it's literally a 0-mana shock that can happen every single turn. So -2, create 2 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature tokens. Start it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, the instruction's unclear. -7, create 2 tokens that are copies of target creature you control. It almost was fine. Yeah, it's the nameless card. The nameless land. The land name that should not be spoken. Do not talk about Mordor. It's a land with a mana cost. You know what? This seems fair. Does to land destruction? I don't know if it does anything to land destruction. I didn't really give up halfway because it actually made a comeback in the third half. Sorry, in the third. And a land lesson planeswalker must be the upcoming Strixhaven set. Now, this is not a planeswalker. It's got loyalty abilities. That is a difference. But it is a land with loyalty abilities. It's so legendary you don't need to name it. Everybody knows what it is. Tripped halfway. It's a shock land, but in a positive sense. It's shocking somebody else. Also, explain why Eldrazi are at the school. Did it say anything about school? Create 2 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Sun creature tokens. Oh, because it's a lesson. But hey, look. The Eldrazi, they want to be literate, all right? What, you going to make fun of the Eldrazi for trying to read? That's pretty rude. We got Prince Ralphs. Maybe the token is treated as entering from the graveyard. Maybe! Start it from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's like considered like... okay, there are a few cards out there that trigger from the graveyard. Tokens usually just get conjured out of nowhere. Maybe these are the very first tokens that actually have the origin from the graveyard. Because there's a lot of cards that say, if a creature entered the battlefield from the graveyard, get this effect. So this might actually trigger that. And by the way, all these things are playable, because it does have a plus ability on top of it. So we go +1 into +1 into -2, but we can go straight to broke, because this thing, it's a land, it's not a planeswalker, so having 0 loyalty doesn't kill it. No Eldrazi left behind. Every Eldrazi will be able to go to school now. What if it was actually a planeswalker? Think that would be fine? Yes, most definitely. Well, I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, honestly, if you have to cast this thing for 4 mana, it would just be straight bad. Does having loyalty still kill it? No. Not on the land. You can go into the... Well, you can't... I don't think you can go into the negatives, because you need to still spend loyalty. So you can't subtract loyalty unless you have it. Correct. The best I understand. Need a bump sticker. My Eldrazi is a Rhodes Scholar. My Eldrazi went to Harvard. A very distinguished Eldrazi. Wait, do you have to cast it for 4 mana? No, actually. If it's a land, it doesn't. Lands don't have a casting cost. Now, it has a mana value. Like, it does have a casting cost. So in essence, if there was, say, a card that says destroy all permanents with mana value 4 or greater, this one would get blown up because it does have a mana value of 4. But I am not casting it for 4 mana. I'm playing it for free because lands don't get cast. There is a ruling out there that lands can have mana costs already. Really, that is so weird. Because I don't know a single land with a mana cost. None. Oh no, or no, maybe not. Maybe there's a, okay, do you know what? That's not true. There are those lands that have 2 sides, right? There's like, it's like a spell on one side, like an enchantment, and then it flips into a land, and so its mana value would be the flip side. Yeah, so actually, we already have lands with mana costs. This one is just, we're saving us the time to flip it. Well, at least this card does something like the previous 5, even if it does weird things. None of these things are even weird. This is all just regular, mundane stuff. I mean, the +1 is insane. It's like your opponent goes turn 1. I mean, this is the ultimate killer of the Badger Mole Cub. Turn 1 Llanowar Elf, kill it. Turn 2 Badger Mole Cub, kill that too. Like, every green deck will just groan at this stupid thing. Play or draw, they're screwed. Yeah, the Modal Face cards. So we have lots of lands with mana costs. I totally forgot about that. Most cards actually say, like, destroy each non-land permanent. But if there is a card that specifically hates on certain mana costs, yeah, or mana values, it would hit them. Yeah, I was right about to say, like, what about the double face cards or the modal cards? 100%. You have to pay 4 to play this. Nope, this is free. Free to play. So you can't, hold on, so you can't search it with Teleria West. That is actually correct. You of all the lands you can search for, this one you can't search for it with Teleria West, which actually makes it balanced. That's interesting. Maybe somewhere in the future, Wizards can just randomly tack on mana value on lands so that they cannot be tutorable by other effects. That would be for free. Can you search this card without its name? I don't think so. Which also makes it unnamed. I think it makes it unnameable by Meddling Mage. So you got some Meddling Mage tech over there. The first land to die to all is dust. Oh yeah, it's black in nature. That's true. Gotta sacrifice all colored permanents you control. Can you fetch it? Absolutely not. It's actually a lesson, not a land. If you can fetch lessons somehow, like, I mean, you can't, I mean, you can get the lesson in the sense you can go get a lesson, but you can't fetch it in the sense of fetching a land, though. Can you actually use the abilities? Yes, you actually can. Believe it or not. I know this because if you take Agatha's Soul Cauldron and then exile a Grist and put Grist on one of your creatures, then one of your creatures basically turns into a Planeswalker and you can start activating abilities. It looks super weird, like really weird when you're doing that, but it's completely legal. Can't find it with Demonic Consultation. Oh, that's true. Yeah, can't tutor for it like that. Can't name a card and keep revealing cards until you find it. If you play a second one, do you have to sack one since it doesn't have a name? All right, Chus, you broke my brain. That is a good question. If we have 2 unnamed cards on the battlefield, do we sacrifice them? Does anything get sacrificed? They don't share the same name because they don't have a name. What an amazing question. Nikachu has separate shampoo and conditioner. That's actually a lie. I just have shampoo. Or you could say I have conditioner, I just don't use it. No name. Ooh, no name on the... yeah, we do have... I do believe we have no name on the bingo card. The nameless one. Where's the no name? Or did we do this one already? No name. Votes as flips. Chaos ensues. I can't see it. Undefined. Oh, I guess, did we do it already? I think it's just missing card types or something. We have, I don't see we have no name on the bingo card. How do you start it from the graveyard? I think the idea is that the tokens are just coming from the graveyard. If there's any cards on the battlefield that cares about where the origin of the creature came from. Okay, Corbinek says, Nikachu, there is a ruling that cards can artificially gain mana cost thanks to that morph land. If a land gains one, you're required to pay its mana cost to enter play. That's if a land gains one, you're required to pay its mana cost to enter play. Like if it's a morph? I don't know how that would still work. Bingo, still a land. Oh, where's that? Start, deals 2. No, it's got to say this is still a land. Does this count for the unexplored design space bingo card? No. This definitely has been done before. You mean, you mean, okay, we can, if you want, sure. Or we got planeswalker abilities on a land, turn 1, very unexplored design space. I can't say this has never been done before. This is a land with a mana cost. It requires you paying. This is a land with a mana cost. It requires you paying its cost. If I understand, we've been here before, like a million times. If I remember correctly, like you just play the land for nothing. If there's a judge that can specify this, I would like to know. It is a lesson land. Since the tokens change zones, they instantly disappear. Well, they're going from the zone to the battlefield, so that it's going to enter play. Okay, I would say this is barely doable. If you can squint hard enough and, you know, forgive the -2 ability, it's totally fine. Next, we got Pre-Moth Forgotten. This is a 6-mana sorcery. Destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. Interesting. Its controller may search their library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast them. What? Where X is the amount of mana spent to cast them? I don't know what they mean. Exile those cards. Put the other cards revealed this way. With that, player creates a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying for each land you control. Okay, we definitely, it was Chaos Ensues and and the AI gave up halfway. Yeah, the AI definitely gave up halfway on this one. Gave up halfway. We're really close to a bingo here. We haven't seen like an outright you win card in a long time. Yeah, this is the cornerstone of a gave up halfway card. It was a perfectly fine card first half, and then the second half was complete random gibberish. It was the path to Chaos Ensues. You need to remember how much mana was spent to cast the destroyed creature, however long ago that was. But even then, you'd like, what does that mean? It can't be regenerated. Its controller may search their library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast them. What is them? Because we're destroying only one creature. Like, when it says them, I'm assuming they're talking about the basic lands, which I didn't cast and I can't cast. Oh, wait a minute. This one might be able to be cast. Maybe it's referencing those types of lands. Lands with a mana cost. Where in theory, they could be cast. In a bizarre world. 6 mana to give yourself a F-ton of dragons, at least. How many dragons? Exile those cards, put the other cards revealed this way. That player creates a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying for each land you control. Okay, I mean, you get like, I guess you get a bunch of dragons. You get a bunch of dragons over here. Captain Rumia with the super chat. Thank you so much for your super chat. Extending the show a little. We will absolutely look at the show a little bit longer. Thanks to your super chat. Will the AI streams gonna be... Will all AI streams gonna be this early? Sort of, yes. From now on, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. is the default time for the AI streams. Every second Wednesday. But there will be an evening AI stream next week, as I'm doubling the shows every single day in preparation for a vacation I'm taking. Okay, Quill Quick card says, I found a ruling. 305.1. A player may play a land card from their hand. Playing a land is a special action. It doesn't use the stack. Since the land doesn't go on the stack, it is never a spell. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was like 99.9% sure you can never cast a land. Rose Kitty is like, is there a custom card stream today? That is correct. There will be in the evening. Toad's like, why no moths? Oh yeah, everyone forgot except Toads. Pre-moth forgotten. Well, someone didn't forget about the moths. It was you, apparently. Pre-moth, there were dragons. And after the dragons, there were moths. The moths brought the dragons. I think giving the opponent 6 lands to destroy their 6-drop is a fine price to pay for a red spot removal spell. Who gets all the dragons? Exile those cards. That player creates a 4/4 red dragon for each land you control. We're giving them dragons equal to our... What is even going on here? Okay. Okay. Next up, we've got the Triton Soldiers. It is a 1-mana artifact. Tap, sacrifice a creature. Target opponent gains control of this artifact. So it's like, okay, wait. Let me explain here for a second. It is not completely useless. Maybe someone at the table needs a sack outlet. They just need it. Okay, they got everything set up on the battlefield, but they need to sack a creature to trigger something to deal with somebody. The Triton Soldiers is the solution. I look for my own Triton Soldiers off my Urza Saga. I then tap, sacrifice a creature, and then I give this sack outlet to somebody who needs it. Very political card. Rose Kitty actually likes it. Here, have my artifact. Sharing is caring around here. Triggers Mayhem Devil. It's going to trigger a hell lot more than that. Okay, Hexnort says, political card, offer it to the affinity guy. You could also give it to the affinity guy, so they can start casting their stuff. Yeah, weird. Well, yeah, sort of weird group hug. I can't say it's like it's a super huge benefit to them. But, you know, somebody, they might need a random 1-mana artifact to sack creatures. But why? What's a sack outlet? So, like, there are some decks that depend on sack outlets to, like, get their engine going. Now, this is a slow sack outlet. It's very, very slow. 1 sack per turn. But sack outlet is a sack outlet. Apparently, Zedju would like this card. Okay, Quill Quick card says this would be great. Would be a great include in political focused games. It stays tapped, so it doesn't just explode into piles of sacks. You know what it also does? It helps you sacrifice cards that were donated to you that you don't want anymore. So if you donate me, donate me like a Force of Nature or something, then maybe not. Force of Nature is not a good example. If you donate me a creature that's going to damage me and is like a burden on the battlefield, I can also sacrifice it as well. I can't remember which commander donates garbage creatures to you all the time. HH says, is there any way to attach harmful enchantments / auras to it? Yes, probably. I'm just not thinking of them right now. The AI are strangely terrible today. Not a single broken card. But this one, Zybers. I think this one, Zybers. It has some really weird utility that probably the game needs. You know, this is the type of card Wizards would print, and at first everyone's like, this thing is totally useless. But then they start... It's like one with nothing. It's on that same power level, but I think it has a lot more utility. It has a lot more usefulness to it. And Jazz is like, use it with Mindslaver to make sure they have a sack outlet when you control them. Beamtown Bullies is the donate commander. There we go. This is the anti-Beamtown Bullies card. For whatever they send us, we just sack it back. Take your stupid crap back, Beamtown Bullies. Yeah, I guess that's what I was thinking of. I know there was like at least one commander that like donates stuff to people. Have you tried that one Mishra AI card generator? Nope, I have not tried any of the AI you know, like a long time ago, I like fiddled around with some AI generators. I thought they were outrageously slow and uninteresting. Well, like the fact of the matter is, when you play around with those generators, most of the cards are just like whatever. This is much more fun. These are crappy AI cards. The crappy ones are the much more stimulating and interesting ones. What's up with everyone saying Zedru? I don't get it. So what's up with Zedru? Zedru. I don't know what this card. I mean, I've heard of it a million times. 4 mana, 2/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of permanents you own that your opponents control. And for 3 mana, target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. So you're saying it's like this is good against Zedru, so that you can like get rid of like whatever toxic nonsense they gave you? Is that the idea? The new Mishra generator is more likely to generate waifu cards. It's the waifu generator. Zedru cares how many cards opponents control that you own. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, we can't sacrifice other permanents. Like, we can't get rid of enchantments, artifacts, lands. All we can do is sacrifice the creatures, which might be like the bulk of the things that are being donated to us. Sagacious says, these cards have their text made by a deliberately primitive neural net trained only on MTG text, so the cards made by it are deliberately weird and funny. Most generators give blank stock cards. That is correct. No fun. Captain Rumia says, waifu generator? I'm in. What would be the best creature to sacrifice? Well, anything that's dealing damage to me. Okay, I think Triton Soldiers is actually a fantastic card. It's probably one of the most useful utility cards we've seen today. Next, we've got the Drampo Trowar. This is a 2 mana 4/4 aura. Enchant land. Destroy target card from your hand. What? Okay, so basically we're discarding a card, but it's in the form of destruction. So it's like destroy target hand almost. Tap. Target permanent you control gets -2/-2 until end of turn. These are terrible abilities. They're both bad. Unlike that last card, which, what was it? Like the one where we had the 0 mana ability to give the creature -1/-1. This is a lot more work and not nearly as flexible. Yeah, what is this one with mulch? So we have to so this is like a bestow card, it seems. You can enchant. Can we do this at will? It seems like we play this thing for 2 mana. It's a 4/4, and then we have the option at will to enchant a land. And then when we do, we destroy a card from our hand and put it into our graveyard. Can it destroy an indestructible card? Probably not. If you target an indestructible card, it's probably indestructible. Probably. I actually don't know. Most abilities on cards usually only matter when they're in play, not in the hand. It's born to be a 4/4 for 2 mana. Forced to live as a non-creature aura. Aura falls off if it's a creature. I assume that this is going to work like Bestow, where it just turns into an aura because it says so. But it's probably going to if it turns into an aura, it loses this bottom ability for sure. We got Pixel Rainbow. Does the first ability trigger death on stuff without entering the battlefield first? Does the first ability trigger death? You mean death on this creature? I don't think so. Quill Quick Card says, my absolute favorite thing about MTG is that there's so many weird options that it's almost impossible to design a card that couldn't be used in some weird, obscure, insane niche way. That is 100% correct. These stupid AI shows actually prove that. You guys are incredibly creative. Only works on Arena. Did you make this thing, Toilet Duck? The Mishra generator basically generates Oracle text and an image for the card artwork. Toilet Duck, hard promoting the Mishra AI generator. Dies is going from battle. Yeah, dies is going from battlefield to graveyard. If we're battlefield to battlefield, it's fine. Okay, it's phrased as destroy, but it's targeting a card in your hand. That is correct. We are blowing up the card in our hand. So it's not being discarded. Now that has consequences, because there are cards that specifically look to see if something got discarded from your hand, not destroyed. Now it's getting destroyed from your hand. So it's going to trigger cards that destroy. In fact, it might even trigger cards that get destroyed from your hand. If they're cards that are, if this thing got destroyed from the battlefield. Sonic Nightmare says, wait, it says permanent. You could target bestow enchantments to kill them, though it probably wouldn't work since enchantments don't care about being at 0 toughness. Maybe Toilet Duck is the Mishra AI generator. Toilet Duck was... Oh, you should have been here the other day, Toilet Duck. I found the perfect avatar for you. It was literally these ducks with turtle shells on them, which probably got flushed down the toilet. Toads with the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. We'll take a look at another card, Toads. Need nonsense flavor cards in hand can be destroyed. I suppose so. All right, honestly, this card is a bit of cloud poo, but I mean, I'll say it's barely legal. Barely legal in the Magic the Gathering sense. Not that it needs to... I'm not going to go there. Moving on! We have the Intervention of Aetherborn. Huh? The Intervention of Aetherborn is a 2-mana instant. Intervention of Aetherborn deals X damage to any target, and you gain X life, where X is Intervention of Aetherborn's power. Damn! It doesn't have any. Sacrifice this aura. Okay, now it just lost the string here, lost the thread. You can also recover it for 4 mana. When an artifact enters, you may cast this card from your graveyard for its escape cost. I would never dare. It's not even a look at it card, it's an instant. It's never even on the battlefield. My dragons are other thieves' resignation. Only the wilds doesn't. The achieve are body machines where dragons of the pain. It's a lot of pain just to stare at this thing. Okay, this can go straight to the Urank. Go straight to the Urank. X equals 0. Nice, yeah. You gain X life where X is its... Okay, I mean, okay. I guess that's a thing. We can deal X damage and gain X life. It just literally does nothing. Sonic Nightmare says, your dragons are laughing at this garbage. Ah, spell. Sorry, mate. Quick Card says, what I'm getting from this is that Aetherborn is very bad at intervening. It's terrible. Completely terrible. Harmless, even. Goes about it the nice way. You know, they're bringing the bacon. Yeah, kills illusion. Yeah, it does this. Kills illusions and commits crimes since it targets. That is correct. It does that at least. For at least 2 mana. At least we're not spending too much mana on this thing. And I guess, yeah, you can commit more crimes for 4 mana. It is an instant spell. It's basically flashback. Is recover an actual keyword? The reminder text is completely off. Is recover a keyword? Like an actual keyword in Magic? Because we do have a bingo spot for like real keyword fake reminder text. And for sure, this reminder text is completely bubkiss. When an artifact enters, you may cast this card from your graveyard for its escape cost. Oh, they can't be the same. Okay, hold on. But what is recover? Recover mechanic MTG. It is. It allows a player to return cards. It's a keyword that debuted in Cold Snap. It allows a player to return cards with the ability to their hand by paying the card's recover cost when the creature next goes into their graveyard from the battlefield. However, if they do not pay the recover cost, then the card is exiled instead. What is a... I hate the internet. I don't know what a recover card is. Can't they just give me an example? When a creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay cost. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. All right. That does hit the bingo card. It is a real keyword fake reminder text. They were trying to fake it till they made it. They didn't make it, though. Okay, next up. We have Artifact. Brought to us by none other than Captain Rumia. Thank you very much for your super chat, Captain Rumia. All right, we got for 2 mana an artifact. If you control planes, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if you've cast it from your hand, cast it this turn. Huh? Okay, hold on. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if you've cast it from your hand, cast it this turn. So it sounds like we're getting a free card if we're playing the same spell as our opponent around here. So if our opponent plays Lightning Bolt, but I've already played Lightning Bolt once from my hand, not from my graveyard. You have to. This is a terrible card. You're gonna have to remember how you cast your spells. Cast it this turn. Draw a card when? If you control planes, draw a card. Oh my god, it's broken. It's 2 mana. Just draw my entire deck. Yeah, perpetual draw a card. If you control, okay, it's danger. It's super danger. Mirror match-up masterpiece. First ability has invalid timing. How does that work? I'm assuming you can just do it. It's sort of a thing of like, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. In this case, if you control planes, just draw a card. Oh, wait a minute. It says it's not a May ability, so you deck yourself. If you control planes, you draw a card. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. We're actually going to the bin. We're basically going to draw ourselves out. So what? So we need to quickly play a card. We need a card in play that says you do not lose the game for having 0 or less cards in your library. Yeah, definitely a play to lose. Okay, this is a play to lose card. Do we have play to lose on the bingo card? We went from outrageously broken to outrageously terrible. I can't see play to lose. I guess we just don't have it on this bingo card. Danger, illusion of choice. Unless we already did it already. Oh no, we already did play to lose. Yeah, it's been done. Having a loss prevention ability just locks you into infinite draw and card triggers, right? I actually don't know. I've never been in that situation. Can we Thassa's Oraclet? I don't know if there's ever like a timing zone that we can do it. It's not even a triggered ability, so you just can't respond to the trigger by sacking your planes. That is correct. 1 planes. Oh, you know what you can do with this card? You're not even playing a planes in the deck. You donate this card to the person who does have the planes. So, you know, if you can play with your island, your like islands and mountains, and then all of us, and your opponent's like, why are you playing that artifact? You don't even have any planes in your deck. Oh, because I'm not the one with the planes. I'm going to harmless offering this thing to you. And you have the planes. And you're going to go straight to the bin with this card. Yeah, it's the ultimate mill. It's the ultimate mill. Well, you can say mill win condition. So Quick Card says, technically that Vanguard from earlier is explicitly intended to be a card that is the player. Interesting. Is a Vanguard a player? Okay, I will, I'll count that then. We can count that. I'm gonna have to do my research though. So was player equals card. No, you can have it. I insist. And if you have no planes in your deck, I mean, like, it's a free roll to play this card. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play this in my Is It deck, cast all of their spells for free when they cast them, and then donate this to anyone who even thinks of playing a planes. Even thinks. I mean, against any Is It deck, you'd have to be so nervous to play a planes in your deck. Can you gift a plane somehow? There's a few blue cards. There's a few blue cards that you can change the basic land type of the land that they have in play to a different land type. So yes, you actually can. You don't have to gift it. You just have to change the land type to something else. I believe there are some enchantments that will do that. I think there's some merfolk that will do that. They're very tricksy. This is the most generic name for a card ever. Oh yeah, it's called Artifact. Is there a single card in Magic the Gathering called Artifact? They named a whole game after this name. Protection against centrifugal. What are you guys talking about? What are you on about here? Centriplets. 5 mana, 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. This turn, that player can't cast spells or activate abilities, and plays with their hand revealed. You may play lands and cast spells from that player's hand this turn. Oh, so the idea is like you're going to cast their spells so that I can definitely cast mine. I think that's the idea. And then I get to play my sides for free. Hey, if lands can be a deck name, then what's wrong with artifact? That's right. Donate a Celestial Dawn to make all of their lands plains first. Yeah, we're doing a lot of donating around here. I don't play plains in my deck. I'm afraid of the Flash Fires players. You should also be afraid of the artifact players. So search for an artifact card just got nuts. Yeah. I would say so. All right, this card, okay. It was, first we thought it was broken, then we thought it was worthless, and then, you know what? I think we've settled on broken. It's sort of Zybers in a stupid way. Toads with the super chat. Thank you so much, Toads. Love the show. Let's take a look at another one. You got it. Thanks to your super chat, we'll look at the Horizon Angel. I wonder if it came from Modern Horizons. It is a 3-mana 3/3 human knight with haste. Goblin spells you cast have horsemanship. Not the ones that you reanimate, okay? Not the ones that you cheat into play. It's the goblin spells that you actually cast. Those have horsemanship, which means they can't be blocked except by creatures with horsemanship. It actually makes it pretty strong. Yeah, it's legal. It's a very legal card. Horsemanship, threat player. It's basically unblockable. Like, I look at horsemanship the same way I look at shadow. Nobody has, like, another horsemanship or shadow creature to block the damn thing. Oh, there is a can be blocked by... There is, but horsemanship is basically power crept shadow because you can block creatures. You can block everything else, but you can't. What's it called? How do I put it? You can block creatures with horsemanship. You can block creatures that don't have horsemanship. Unlike shadow, only block and cannot block only shadow. Bingo, retired mechanic. What, haste? Oh, horsemanship. Yeah, we could say. Sure. Yeah, we can say that. Where is the retired mechanic? There we go. Ooh, we almost have a book. If we just need one look at it card, like an actual look at it card. Does it only apply to goblins you've cast after you played this? I think it's going to only apply to goblins that have been cast. So I would assume that, like, once you cast the goblin, it has the effect of horsemanship, and it doesn't say until end of turn. It's just there permanently. So it's not retroactively. It's like you cast the goblin, it probably immediately has horsemanship. And when it enters the battlefield, it will keep horsemanship. Horsemanship was flying for the 3 Kingdoms set. That's how it worked. Well, why don't they just have flying? Was flying so complicated? Flying makes a lot of sense to me. Horsemanship counter. Yeah, you could come into play as with a horsemanship counter, but in this case, it doesn't. It's just gonna be a card. Print this thing. Rick Sizu likes it. Wouldn't talking to Hexanort, wouldn't that be gains horsemanship, not has horsemanship? Actually, yeah, I don't know the difference between the two personally. That's it. I'm sideboarding my tripwires. Sideboard as you need to. Okay, this card, it's a card. It's doable. I'm not gonna say it's Zybers or anything. I'm just gonna say it's doable. Okay, we have another Captain Rumia with I'm sure artifact pairs with land, creature, etc. We'll have to wait for the AI to make those before I can be sure, though. I'm sure artifact pairs with land, creature. Actually, don't know what you mean, but it's worth another card. Let's take a look at another card here. It's Yafira Oranchek Reaper Seniga. I would say Eisenniga. It's the name is like an oracle text of some sort. It is a 3-mana, 5 loyalty legendary planeswalker. Remove a counter from Yafira Oranchek. Look at up to 1 creature card in your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Look at up to... Oh, we do have a look at it card. It has been done. And with that, we have a bingo. The card, it has been looked at. Let's get it. Whoops. How do I move this? How do I not screw this up? No! It's a bad... How do I get to scribbles? I want to make scribbles around here. I'm confused all of a sudden. How do I make this thing work? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, here, I'm going to move this here. I'm just going to drag the line down. In fact, I'm going to make this color a little bit darker. Not dark enough. All right, we have one bingo. Congratulations, everybody. Or here, we have even better sound effect for this. We did it. We win. We beat Magic the Gathering forever. Worst Planeswalker ever. Discounting any which actively make you lose the game. Remove a count. Yes, yeah, there are some that purposefully make you lose. Remove a counter from Yafira or Ranchek. Look at up to one creature card in your graveyard without paying its mana cost. It's free. I don't know what else you would use this for. Look at up to one creature card in your graveyard. Nothing. Just complete junk. It does nothing. It doesn't even do anything since you can see your graveyard anyway. Yeah, it's looking at our graveyard is free. They're trying to charge us for it. Literally kills himself looking at it. Oh yeah, it's true actually. Remove a counter. You have to remove one counter at a time. A Nada card. Are there any planeswalkers that aren't legendary? I don't think so. I can't remember if the AI made any. Okay, we got Yafira. Okay, it looks like we're going to go to our last super chat. We got Race Car here. Thank you very much, Race Car. We got the Veteran Crab. It is a 2-mana 0/2 creature. And we can assume that it's probably a crab creature. Whenever a creature you control attacks, up to one other target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Not bad. Whenever a player casts a spell, counter that spell if that spell is countered this way. What? What is this? Ireo? Whenever a player casts a spell, counter this spell. If that spell is countered this way, its control loses life to the number of cards in their hand, then draws a card. Oh my god. This is insane. It's Ireo at 2 mana. Bingo should give an extra free card. It does give an extra free card. Does it count as reaching the fleshes? Does it exile anything from the graveyard? Whenever a player casts a spell, counter that spell. If the spell is countered this way, its control loses life. Nope. Actually, it's definitely not reaching the fleshes. Zybert? What do you mean Zybert? It would be banned instantly. Oh, we draw the card. Whenever a player casts a spell, its control loses life equal to the number of cards in their hand, then draw a card. We actually draw the card here. Yeah, locks the game pretty much. Well, okay, well, you need to... What you really need to do is... what's it called? What you really need to do is play cards that are uncounterable. The more uncounterable they are, the better they are. No creature type. That is correct. It's not reaching the fleshes. It's making the fleshes crawl. Even the art fits for a spell-breaking crab leading a charge. Yeah, I guess these are a bunch of spells in the air, and they're like, pow! They're like, pow! They're like, pow! Locks the game with Chimil the Inner Sun. My beloved Mistcutter Hydra is the hero again. Oh yeah, you're uncounterable Mistcutter Hydra. Yeah, so it's whenever... But you still... I think you still lose life. So whenever a player casts a spell, counter that spell. If the spell... Oh, it has to be countered. Okay. So if it doesn't get countered, you don't lose the life. So you just basically play this in a deck full... I mean, you can play it in green. So you can play like a Selesnya deck. So you play your Veteran Crab and then just play a bunch of uncounterable stuff. So you actually keep playing, your opponents don't. Even, yeah, it does counter your own stuff. So you have to make sure that they slide in. I guess you could also include... I mean, there's a lot of ways to get around with counter spells. You can play creature lands. You can play uncounterable cards. You can play... maybe not Split Second works. You can play abilities from your land, from cards in your hand. That works. Those are uncounterable. Use activated abilities. Yeah, activated abilities from cards in hand. The first ability triggers on each attacking player. Each attacker player. So play all your weenies. Okay, this to buff them and lock the game. Yeah, basically get out ahead really quickly and then lock the game by playing this afterwards. Just play this card after getting a big board state and boom, no more board wipes. Don't encourage this card to be conjured into existence. Arreo is banned for a good reason, by the way. Very, very good reason. I wish I could play it, though. Oh, my God. I wish I could play Arreo. We need Arreo off the ban list. Arreo is unfairly on that ban list. Okay, Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper wants... Okay, before we go on, this card is absolutely busted. Going straight to the Urank. Steve Cooper wants another card. This super chat is going to help fund the last 2 super chats that under-contributed, but... So thank you very much for your contribution, Steve Cooper. We'll take a look at another card. It's Agid of Blood. Land. As the land enters, you may pay 4 life. If you don't, it enters tapped and adds a green. This does nothing. This is so weak. As this land enters, you may pay 4 life. If you don't enter... Oh, yeah, I guess you could put it in a Death Shadow deck. You could put in the decks where your life total, like reducing your life total actually matters. I don't even know what to call this. It's not even a shock land. Like, okay, we have... Shock land is 2 damage because of shock. Bolt land is 3 damage because it's 3. What would be number 4? What's a card that deals 4 damage? I can't think of. I don't know what red has in. I don't know what red 4 damage cards there are. Because I don't want to say burst lightning because that's only burst lightning when it's kicked. Emotional damage land. These spiky pine trees are out for your life. They're coming. Yeah, don't fall on one. The Mizium land. I like that. The Mizium land. At least it can tap for mana. It'd be hilarious if it couldn't even tap for anything. I like that actually a lot. So we have a Mizium land here. Agid of Blood. You better believe that there's probably an entire cycle of this land. We got it for green. We'll probably have it for red, blue, black, and white. Flame slash land. You know what? I like the Mizium land. It's clean. The Agid of Blood. It's going to be taking some blood from us. Is there any other purpose to this thing? I think it's just... sorry. Hold on. There might be a few cards that care about you losing life this very turn. So you play it, you lose life. I can't remember the cards, though. There are some cards that care about it. I think Rhystic Lightning was only... Maybe Rhystic Lightning was 4 damage. This is really good if you're a masochist. Isn't there a mechanic, like, if you lost life this turn, like, triggers happen? But I don't remember. Like, you get a +1/+1 counter on a creature or something. I mean, it helps you dodge Trisketophobia. It can do that. I love how much you can theory craft even with a terrible land like this. There's some utility. Like... You know, Death Shadow decks, they want those fetches into shocks. And maybe they can't fetch into this, but maybe they want Agid of Blood. Yeah, it's kind of like a Seer land. This is on some Delve cards that I remember. It'd be great if it wasn't strictly worse than a forest. Only benefit is for players that target forest, specifically anti-acid rain tech. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay, this actually is doable. For some people, it might even Zyber. Okay, we got the Edge of Inferno. A 6-mana 5/5 dragon for all the dragon people out there. When the Edge enters, create 5 treasure tokens. A lot of dragon players, they love their treasures. Whenever the Edge deals combat damage to a player, return all permanents to their owner's hands. What? Whenever the Edge deals combat damage to a player, return all permanents to their owner's hands. Is this just upheaval? Return all permanent, but it's everything. So ideal combat, so it's basically upheaval. Yeah, reset the game dragon. We're going to the edge, all right. To the edge of your time to go to bed, because this game's gonna last all night, baby. Sabotage itself hoses your treasure tokens. Oh yeah, well, you better play a spell before. Okay, hold on. Wait, deals combat damage to player. I'll tell you what you can do. Oh no, maybe you can't do this. Okay, I think I know what's happening. I have an idea here. The idea is you play. You need to play something with flash, or maybe the actual card flash. So you deal enters. You get the 5 treasure tokens. You deal combat damage to somebody. You float all the mana from the treasures. You play flash and replay your Edge of Inferno, like something like that. Something to that effect. You don't have to damage the player. It doesn't have trample after all. You don't have to damage. You do have to damage the player. It says whenever the edge deals combat damage to a player, not to anything else. It has to be combat damage, so you do have to attack. Edge of the LCS opening hours. Well, sneak attack isn't going to work because you still have to return all permanents back to your hand. So whether, like, no matter how you use it, like, you can't let the ability resolve and then activate sneak attack, because then your sneak attack is in your hand. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to turn you have 1 turn use of your treasure tokens before it wakes up from summoning sickness. Huh? Treasure tokens don't have summoning sickness. What is the Edge? Its name is the Edge of Inferno. It is, the Edge of Inferno. Okay, interesting card. Very bizarre upheaval type effect. More super chats from Racecar. Thank you very much, Racecar. Take a look at another card. The Cumble Wave Ghoul. It is a very innocent looking 2-mana 0/3. It's a dog spirit. Oh, does that mean it's in heaven? For 2 mana, this creature phases out. Congratulations, Cumber Wave Ghoul. You are... I'm not going to say you're totally useless. You're like a wall that isn't going to be affected by board wipes. Finally, the first wall not affected by board wipes. Racecar very happy about this. Oh my god. Evade removal? Yep. What's the dog doing? Nah, this is where the dog is going. Combos with the last card. Yeah, so we have our Edge of Inferno. Before we bounce the whole board, we can phase this Cumber Wave Ghoul out, and then it'll come back in. So we'll be the first one with a permanent on the battlefield, for sure. We'll have this huge board of Cumber Wave Ghouls. That's what we're using the treasures for, to phase out our creatures. It's a phase-out deck. That's the whole idea. It's an artifact because it's... Oh, it is an artifact creature because it's actually a tombstone. When it phases, it's the spirit going into the earth for a moment. That's a pretty neat interpretation. So this guy is living on the edge. This guy is living on the edge of that dragon. That 0/3 will really help you in this situation. Very useful 0/3. You better believe it. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for showing up today. Oh, it was wonderful. We had a great stream. As usual, the show is Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and also Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And for everyone watching live, we're going to be having shows actually each morning and each evening at these times as I prepare for a vacation. So you're going to show up twice a day for these shows. Thanks to everyone who also supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, my coffee crew, my Zyber Nation here today. People like Ractus, Mercenary, Pyrefox, Lorezio, Jeff, Teutonic Nightmare, Fingrinder, Mapius, Racecar, Toad, Sagacious. We got Teutonic Nightmare, Mercenary, Fingrinder, Pyrefox, Spectral Maniac, Bell, Epic Moment, Guru, we got Julie, Toilet Duck, Steve Cooper. I think I got Teutonic Nightmare and Sagacious, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.